a good, comfortable spin serve out wide. And now McEnroe asking Frank Hammond for another ruling on that. Hammond not even looking up from the chair. McEnroe trying to get his attention, but ball was called good. Looked good from up here. Looked like it hit the line and really shot out. So it's first set to Borg. Borg a lot more aggressive, Donald, than we've seen him in this kind of a surface. I think he's feeling a little bit more confident, like he can come in a bit more.
Love 15.
Big game here. I'll tell you something. If Borg could break serve early in this second set, first game of the second set, he's going to have John really thinking to himself.
Up. 15 all.
Straighten those strings up a little bit. He strings that racket at about 80 pounds, very tight. McEnroe strings his racket right around in the low 50s. He loves that touch. Tremendous difference in the way they approach the racket. A lot of tension on Borg's racket. Easy shot. McEnroe
15-30.
Slightly unhappy, I'd have to say.
You know, this crowd is laughing. They secretly want Bjorn Borg into that finals, I fear, Barry, the way they react to every error by McEnroe. As we said, about 14,000 people here.
Borg and Connors played in the first final over here in '78. And they haven't played since, Donald. And I'm sure with those two great names entered in this event, they would love to see Borg playing Connors tomorrow. But Connors has got a big match coming up against Johan Krieg later. Watch it here. Borg way out to the left. McEnroe serves the ball out wide. Now, good return by Borg. He'll get to it. Tries to hit cross court. Didn't quite get over the ball. But McEnroe hit a fine approach shot there. Back to deuce.
Oh.
14-13.
Match 47 minutes old, and McEnroe trying to stay with Borg. He led 3-1 in the first set, and then Borg came roaring back to win it 6-4. Doesn't seem to be any rhythm yet to John's game, Barry. It's kind of an inconsistency. He goes along, serves 2 great points, and then suddenly makes a careless error. Double fault, just like that.
Yep. Return has been real erratic too, Donald. When McEnroe plays great tennis, he'll go through streaks. Well, he had 4 or 5 great returns in a row, break serve at love, and he really gets it going. Today, we haven't seen him do that. Borg with those fingers taped. Ooh. Well, he saw that serve coming. McEnroe hitting wide again to Borg's forehand. You saw Bjorn Borg very quickly move to his right. Watch it here now. Watch him how he anticipates his serve. There he goes, right there. Comes over the ball. Great wrist action there. McEnroe couldn't handle it. Right at the last there, you saw Borg's tremendous wrist come over that ball. That's what gave him the power. He'll get it.
Oh.
Game Borg.
And Borg has the break with a ricocheting backhand, that favorite one down the line.
First game,
And now
second
he's
set.
done it again. He leads 1-love, second set. So Bjorn Borg out first as always. He seems to be the much quicker of the two changing ends. He gets a little impatient, doesn't take the full 90 seconds. And he has the early break and leads 1-love. And McEnroe now is really going to be struggling.
Borg really taping. You can see tape on both hands, especially his left hand where he's bouncing that ball right now. And he tapes those fingers because he has a tendency to get some blisters, and he sort of protects against that off both hands, especially on that two-hander. Ooh, bad bounce.
15 love.
Hey, let's have some fun. What makes Bjorn Borg such a great player? We're not going to see him too much more. What's his mark of greatness?
I've always felt his biggest asset was his tremendous concentration, Donald. The fact that he just doesn't vary at all throughout the match. And when you're playing against the guy, if all of a sudden he makes 3 or 4 errors, you got to think, he's going to be unhappy with that. He's going to be emotional. But he's just had such a great consistency that as a player playing against him, that's got to wear you down mentally because he never gets upset. John now having trouble putting those balls away. It's going to go wide.
He's a little late.
30 love.
Well, you mentioned the mental concentration, the mental toughness of Borg. I would have always talked in terms of physical talents, Barry, was his quickness and his footwork. He is always in position. He has really kind of a disguised sense of anticipation. He's so fast on his feet, he's always in position. Physically, his footwork is one of the understated elements of his greatness. He'll get it, and he just shovels it by him. And now McEnroe is really frustrated. 40 love to Borg. But you know, Barry, the concentration and the mental toughness of Borg is really something. Here, watch that point again.
Watch this now. He sets it up with that shot. Now the court's wide open, and he just nails it over there. But the tremendous shot that he hit up the line with all that topspin is what set that last ball up.
Here comes Borg.
Game Borg.
Swing volley, plays behind McEnroe, and he leads 2-love. I started to say that
Borg leads 2-love.
Borg's concentration and mental toughness, I don't know, Barry. I think you're born with it. I don't think you can just learn that. I think you can discipline yourself to get it more, but I think that you're born with that.
Well, it's an instinctive thing, Donald. Yet over the years, he seems to have developed it to almost an absolute perfection out there, because for years on end, I mean, we've watched this guy now for a long time, and he just does not vary. He'll smile a little bit on the rare occasion, but you just know that his mind is totally with the match at all times.
Just play a little worse than you do.
John, always up front, lets you know how he feels. He says, just play a little worse than you are now. He is disgusted because he's a perfectionist.
Oh, good overhead there. It was not an easy shot to hit. McEnroe was coming in, and Borg caught him again with that good topspin backhand, and McEnroe had to move back pretty quickly to get that shot. And I noticed there, Donald, his shoulder, which we've all heard a lot about recently, which has been bothering him, didn't seem to bother him at all on that last overhead.
15 love to the server. Uh-oh, doesn't drop. 30 love. And we mentioned earlier, Barry, those two great matches at Wimbledon, which really are the mark of this competitive rivalry. McEnroe losing in 5 sets in 1980 to Borg on Borg's 5th win. But then he came around and beat him the next year in 4 sets in 1981 at Wimbledon. And that was really something to watch. And, of course, McEnroe himself has won the U.S. Open 79, 80, and 81 in 3 straight years back-to-back, which is unheard of. And remember, we got another Wimbledon U.S. Open winner coming up next, Jimmy Connors. So we're going to see some tremendous tennis today. Connors will play Johan Kriek in the 2nd semifinals of the Suntory Cup after this match.
McEnroe tried that spin serve out wide. Oh.
Called
14-15.
John again questioning that call. Uh-oh, he says he thinks that ball was out on the return. We'll watch it here. McEnroe spins the ball down the middle. There it comes. Good return by Borg. Awfully close, John.
Look maybe a little wide, Barry. That one I might have given John. The linesman did not, however, and it's 40-15. He called it good. McEnroe didn't play the ball, which was a mistake.
Well, he cannot afford at this point to lose serve. He's already down a break and a set.
Oh, God. Any ball I hit, just call out, all right?
Oh, game McEnroe.
Borg gave him the needle there beautifully. McEnroe didn't say a word. He came over
Borg leads
quickly.